Welcome back to The Explainer. So, Arsenal are right in the thick of a title fight, but, their biggest battle might not even be on the pitch. Today, we're going to break down the absolutely intense pressure, the tactical questions, and this media storm that could honestly decide everything.
Okay, let's just kick things off with one sentence that really says it all. You've got pundit Gary Neville saying, you have to win the league this year. Now, that's not a suggestion, is it? That is a demand. And honestly, that one line, it perfectly sets the stage for everything we're about to get into.
And this feeling, this intense expectation, it's coming from literally all angles. It's creating this powerful sense that, this is it. This is Arsenal's golden opportunity, and it's one they just cannot afford to let slip by. Yeah, and the context here is just so important. We're talking about a 20-year wait for that Premier League trophy. 20 years. That long, pretty painful gap means that every single dropped point, every tiny little slip up, it just gets blown up into this huge headline-grabbing drama. And right here, you can see the two sides of this whole debate perfectly summed up. On one hand, you've got Gary Neville, the cool-headed analyst, basically saying, hey, this is just what you expect from a big club. But then you have club legend Ian Wright, and he's coming at it from the fans' perspective. He's talking about pure anxiety. He even uses the word afraid, which, wow, that just perfectly captures the emotional baggage of all those near misses, doesn't it? And this just nails the core issue, doesn't it? Roy Keane, as always, cuts right to the chase. He's saying it's not really about talent or tactics at this point. No, it's about handling that immense, crushing psychological weight of a title race. And that's a challenge that, let's be honest, Keane thinks has been a real problem for Arsenal over the last few years. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and see how the club itself is trying to get a handle on this narrative from the inside. Because while everyone on the outside is screaming pressure, 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 Mikel Arteta is trying to change the conversation completely. So how does Arteta respond to all this? Well, he doesn't deny the pressure exists, not at all. Instead, he completely reframes it. He's basically telling his players and the fans too, hey, let's embrace this. Let's enjoy it. Let's be courageous. He's trying to turn all that fear into fuel. And you know what? That's a pretty powerful leadership move. So the key thing here is that inside the club, the message seems to be all about renewed energy. Arteta mentioned that after a really tough loss, the players' reaction wasn't despair. It was just a simple, determined, vamos, let's go. And that, right there, suggests a team that's ready to fight back, not one that's about to crumble. All right. But it's not all about mentality, right? There are some very real, concrete, tactical issues that people are pointing to, especially when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net. Okay, let's get into the tactics. And honestly, it all kind of boils down to one single number, 69. That's how many goals Arsenal are projected to score this season. So why is that one number causing such a stir? Well, it's a big deal because history tells us that winning the Premier League when you score fewer than 70 goals, it's just incredibly rare. It's like a massive statistical mountain they have to climb if they want to get that trophy. So to deal with this goal-scoring problem, analysts are throwing out all sorts of tactical tweaks to try and unlock the team's attack. We're hearing things like moving Declan Rice into a more advanced position or letting guys like Bukayo Saka drift inside where they can do more damage. But really, it all comes down to one thing. Be more aggressive, create more danger, and for goodness sake, score more goals. And all of this brings us to a bigger, maybe more complicated question. Is all this intense criticism actually fair? Or is Arsenal just an easy target, a reliable way for the media to get engagement and clicks? I mean, take this comment from Paul Scholes. It sparked a massive debate, and it just perfectly captures the sometimes, well, bizarrely negative way people are framing Arsenal's season. Just think about it. Even in a world where they actually win the whole thing, the narrative is already being set that it would be somehow a lesser achievement. It's wild. But this is where that whole narrative starts to kind of fall apart. Just look at the actual numbers, right? After 23 games, Arsenal's points total is right up there with two legendary, treble-winning teams. In fact, get this, they have more points than that iconic Manchester United team did at the same stage back in '99. All of a sudden, the data is telling a very, very different story. So you've got this split argument. Is this all just rage bait, because Arsenal's massive, super passionate fan base guarantees clicks no matter what? Or is the criticism a real reaction to a team that's genuinely threatening the established order? And the truth is, it's probably both, right? The narrative gets fueled by those easy clicks, for sure. but it's also happening because Arsenal are genuinely, truly back in the title conversation.
And that leaves us with one last, kind of provocative thought to chew on. If Arsenal actually pull this off, if they manage to overcome the pressure, defy the stats, and fight through this media storm to lift that trophy, who's going to lose the most credibility? Who's going to have to answer for all those predictions and all the negative narratives they pushed along the way?